Let's burn this place down. Yeah, I love this song.
Ladies and gentlemen, super welcome to today's video, guys. Today we're doing yet another review divided into segments, and I will do my best in saying something good and something bad in all of these segments to help you figure out if this game is for you or not. Now, let's do this. And today's meat on the grill is no other than the newly released, brutal yet kind of forgiving, cluster truck inspired Duke Nukem-like called Meatgrinder. Let's begin with the story, shall we? So in this game, there is no story. Yep, you have to put your imagination to work if you're looking for any type of story here. However, at one point in the game, it actually hints of something that mildly resembles a story. You actually pick up an item during a cutscene where, as I did briefly get my hopes up, but they were instantly crushed, unfortunately. And this is to say, I'm not a heavy story focused guy. I do enjoy my brain dead stress relieving shooter games just as much as the next person, but there are so many elements to this game that has me questioning how come they are here and what they are, or at least some lore would have been perfect. And I will touch on those elements slash mechanics during the gameplay segment of this review, so let's jump right into that now. Now the gameplay is of course the heart and soul of this game. With its cluster truck inspired ultra fast retro shooting, it actually turns into quite a fun and enjoyable experience. I love the idea of the game, and I think it's a really solid one at that. However, from what you're seeing here in the footage rolling, well, there isn't a whole lot more to the game than just this. You have your guns, ranging from a pistol, a shotgun, a minigun, and a rocket launcher. And apart from that, you got slow time, which works really good and is a nice thing to use when you need to catch your breath once in a while. And to move around fast, you have a grappling hook that shoots out from your foot, and 3 dashes that all have a very low cooldown, which is pretty damn nice. The grappling hook and dashes are the most essential of mechanics in the game, because if you stand still for too long or move too slow, your BPM will go down, resulting in you starting to lose health. But on the other hand, moving fast increases your BPM and heals you instead. This mechanic doesn't really add much to the normal gameplay, but when it comes to the boss fights, I started keeping a good track on my BPM to not go down too much, and it added a new level of tension to the boss fights that felt challenging in a good way actually. Now the gameplay overall is actually pretty solid. The weapons, they feel okay, but the shotgun actually feels really good. I like that a lot. Why don't you take a look-see at it yourself and let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Here it comes. Apart from the weapons, the movement is actually also pretty solid. The grappling hook and dashes are easy to master and they work as you expect them to, and that feels really nice to say, because when I played this in demo state way back, the game was full of glitches and it just didn't feel as good as it feels now. It felt much more floaty and slippery in a way, so a huge step up in the overall feel of the game. Now the environments, they are actually a true highlight. They are well thought out and crafted to look really good. But not only that, the game throws you into places I barely dared to think that the game could actually pull off, but it does. However, that joy is very shortly lived, as the game is barely an hour long. I almost thought the devs were joking when the end screen popped up, but if the gameplay is something you really enjoy, there is an endless mode that will surely keep you busy for quite some time, as it offers challenges that has rewards linked to them. So if you complete a challenge, you can, for example, unlock akimbo shotguns, and I really like that level of challenge versus reward. So if it seems like the gameplay is for you, I'm pretty sure that the endless mode will keep you busy for quite some time. Overall, really solid gameplay, with some really great mechanics added to it, and set pieces and environments that you will most likely remember. But those memories will be very short, since the game throws an end screen at you just as you thought that the game was getting started. Now let's jump to the graphics, because the graphics is an aspect that is a bit of a mixed bag here. The overall look of the game is nice, the environments are spot on, the vehicles, they are okay, but the enemies and weapons, they could be a little better in my opinion. The enemies, they feel very uninspiring, with many of them housing very similar looks to each other. They have very few weapons and just don't do much more than jump straight at you or snipe you. There is no middle thing here, which is kinda sad to see. Now the mechanics of the enemies doesn't affect the graphics, but it does affect the overall feel of the game and somewhat made the graphics feel a lot simpler due to them feeling so uninspiring. And I feel the exact same way with the weapons. They sound and feel okay, especially the shotgun, but they look so uninspiring. I get the hey, let's throw in some of the most common weapons in any shooter game and be done with it type of vibe from them. They do nothing out of the ordinary except for having unlimited ammo and using an overheat function instead, and they look ordinary for being such an unordinary game. Don't get me wrong, they don't look like ordinary guns, but compared to how weird and crazy the game is, the guns aren't crazy and weird enough. That's what I'm trying to say. But apart from the negatives, the game is a pleasant look for your eyes, especially the environments. They will let your eyes feast upon them, and sprinkled in there is actually some great destruction with trucks and motorcycles, cars, barrels exploding everywhere, and it looks pretty damn good.
Let's burn this place down. Yeah, I love this song.
Now the audio is a good one in this game. The soundtrack fits the game like a hand fits a glove. It's got speed, action and drama in it, and the music is such an important aspect in a fast-paced shooter like this. It really helps with the atmosphere and immersion of the game, and the soundtrack playing in this game nails it. The rest of the audio is also good. There is a lot going on at the same time with explosions, shootings, dashing, etc., but it never sounds bad and nothing really takes over the other. It's all well mixed in together with a high feeling of quality to it. In conclusion, I'm really bummed out by how short the game was, but other than that I had a great time in it. We have to remember that this is just stage 1 of the early access, so chances are that there will be some more thought out enemies, weapons and much longer game in the future. But as is now, the game has some aspects it could benefit from improving. Now, I hope I helped you figuring out if this game is for you or not, and if you're looking for even more games, then don't miss these.